Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're doing well. Last week, I did a progress video on my 100 cards that would cost $100,000, and I showed off pickup number 4 and 5. And in that video, I had mentioned that I had recently picked up number 6 and was waiting for it to come in the mail. Well, it has arrived, so this video here is showing off card number 6 off my list. Now, you may be thinking, if you've been watching my previous videos and how often they've been coming out, you may be thinking, hey, John, you're doing a great job. You're really knocking out this list. And while that may be true early on here, I did have a little bit of money saved up. I got some eBay gift cards for Christmas. So that's been fueling my recent purchases. Plus, I've been going after some of the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that's, $75, $100. There's still a few in that price range that I'll be maybe looking to go after. But once I start getting into the $150, $200, $250 price tag cards, these videos aren't going to be coming out as often because I can't continue this momentum here that I've done so far. But nonetheless, I am now up to card number 6. Before I show that card off, two things I want to mention. I think it was in that video I had talked about, or maybe the previous one, that I was trying to go after a 1966 Topps Jim Palmer rookie card in a PSA 5. And I had done, when I put the list together, the comps based on a PSA's website on their auction prices. It may not have everything, but I've been using that as a source of comps. Anyway, I was looking up the card here, and back on October 15th, a PSA 5 sold for $99. On October 21st, a PSA 5 sold for $93.88. November 3rd, one sold for $86. November 13th, another sale for $86. And on December 16th, one sold for $87. So while I had a $100 budget, the prices for his PSA 5s were actually going down a little bit. So again, I was a little shocked that two auctions I was going after, one on December 28th and one recently on January 4th, both of those sold for over $130. Now, someone made a comment, and correctly so, that the two most recent card sales, the cards were very well centered, presented very well. But I looked up pictures of some of the previous sales there, and yeah, there were some that were off center, mainly left to right, but there were one or two that were really nicely centered. But the person that made the comment said that depending on eye appeal, good centering, especially on vintage cards, that those cards may carry a premium. And I agree. And that may be something that I have to factor into when I originally did the comps for this list. Again, I was just trying to put a list together, and I estimated potential purchase prices to get to that $100,000. So it's not an exact science, but it's pretty close. I didn't factor into, oh, well, this sale here, this card is, off center, or this other one that maybe sold for a little bit more was better centered and had maybe a premium to it. So again, moving forward, as I work on this list, I may have to pay a little bit more for a particular grade if I see that it has really, really good eye appeal. So it's something I'll have to keep in mind. But there's a little bit more to this story with this Palmer. So the most recent sale on January 4th, in my mind, the buyer paid a premium or overpaid in my eyes. Again, I was shooting for $100, and it sold for $131.50. Well, a couple days ago, checked my saved listings on eBay, and I see, hey, a 1966 Jim Palmer PSA 5 has been newly listed. And I look at it, and the seller has it listed for $189. Buy it now. No best offer. And curiosity got the best of me, and sure enough, it's the same exact card that the buyer bought for $131.50 back on January 4th. Now, a seller can list their card for whatever they want. I mean, it's free. He could have listed that card for $2,000. Hey, you're free to list whatever you want. But in my mind, I think this seller may be living in a bit of a time warp. I think he's maybe thinking it's January 2021, where sale after sale after sale was a higher price, higher price, higher price until we hit that bursting of the bubble sometime. Maybe it was around March, April, given the card and market. So again, in my mind, $100 would have been a fair price to pay for that card. He decided maybe this card deserved a premium, won it for $130. Now he thinks someone's going to spend $60 more for it. I don't know. He may be a seller where he puts it out there for buy it now, and if someone is maybe uneducated and decides to buy it, that's great. Maybe he's not in a rush to sell it. But if he's looking at getting a quick buck off of this Palmer rookie card, I'm not sure he's going to get it right away. I don't know if that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, enough about that 66 Jim Palmer. One day I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one for a price that I like, and we'll be done with it. The second thing I want to mention is that I have officially booked my hotel for the National in Atlantic City. Really excited. I will be arriving on the Tuesday and leaving after the convention ends on Sunday. So I'll be there for the whole thing. I'll be staying at the Club Wyndham Skyline Tower, which is about I think a 10-minute walk to the convention center. Last year at the Chicago National, I was staying down with a friend of mine, fellow Boggs collector, about 45 minutes south of Chicago. It was nice that I was closer to him, got to spend some time with him, but it limited my ability to hang out with some of the YouTubers here in the card community for some of the after-hour things. I was able to attend for a short amount of time the get-together for the YouTubers. Hopefully they'll have that again this year and can spend more time, spend some more time to meet all of you and get caught up and all that stuff. Maybe meet some new YouTubers, which would be great. So I'm going to be putting out more videos as the convention gets closer and closer, goals and different things like that. But just wanted to let everyone know that, yes, I sort of booked my ticket and I will be going to the National. Really excited. So, okay, wasted enough of your time here. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll look at pickup number 6 on my list of 100 cards that would cost me $100,000. Card number 6 is one that I actually had my eye on at last year's National, but the seller wanted more than I was willing to pay, again, based on comps at the time. I believe they wanted $100 for it. I originally offered, I think it was $65, and they only went down to like $95. Just couldn't make a deal. Didn't feel that it was worth $95. And even since then, I think there's been a little bit of softening of the card as well. But the card in question is the 1968 Topps Yastrzemski in a PSA 7. Really happy with this card. It's not perfect left to right, but it is. I'm very, very, very happy with this card. Overall, great eye appeal on the front. The back is nice and clean as well. Again, not perfectly centered. It is a 7. But from what I can tell on the back, those corners are really nice as well. Sometimes you can get with the 68s, because of the background there, the border, it hides some imperfections in the corners, but on the back you can really tell that this has some sharp corners. Not something I necessarily look at, but when you're looking in the 7s and 8s, you expect the corners to be a little bit nicer. So very, very, very pleased with this. My target price was $75, and I know I said I was only willing to offer 65 at the National. decided, looked at more recent comps when I put the list together, figured I'd be willing to pay 75, and with shipping and tax, I was in for 80. So it was still less than what that seller wanted at the National, so I feel even better about it. But this card does interest me in another way. And maybe some of you that are more familiar with this card or 68 tops, I'm not sure. But the image itself, not that I think anything is wrong with the card, because I looked at a whole bunch of 68s and they're all the same for Yastrzemski, is it looks like this image was taken obviously outside, but with sunlight coming down on him on his shirt. And it looks like on the shoulder here, and especially down on his lower part of his jersey, I think it's meant to be sunlight showing on, but it almost shows up like white, like like something was wrong actually with the printing of the card. But I think that's what it's supposed to represent. Same thing I've noticed on a lot of examples. There's an area here on his arm near his wrist that's a little bit lighter colored than the rest of him. A little bit more, you can see it maybe lightly on the elbow there as well. And again, all the Yastrzemski cards that I've seen feature this, but it just seems a little bit odd the way the photograph catches the light. It just, I don't know, a little odd. But the last one, and again, maybe one of you can help me out here. I can understand the lightness of some of the colors there with the sunlight, but I have no idea what that is. It doesn't look like it's part of his jersey. Every single Yastrzemski card I've seen from 68 has that, so it's not a printing error, one of those fish eyes or what other printers call that mark. I just find it a little bit odd that this card has that different color section there of his undershirt. I'm not sure what's going on there, but anyway, just a little funky thing I've noticed about this 68 Yastrzemski. So with this purchase here, in terms of my base tops Carl Yastrzemski run, I'm missing his 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 69, and 73. And I have it all the way to 1980. Then I'm missing, I think, the 81 and 82 tops. Then I'll have the complete tops run, base run of Carl Yastrzemski. Now, if you notice, I mentioned 1964. And if you see on the thumbnail or watch my original video, I have on my list a 1964 tops Carl Yastrzemski that I want to add to my collection. Well, I do already own a 64 tops Yastrzemski. It was a card that I bought raw at my local card shop several years ago. One of the many vintage cards that, looking back, I shouldn't have, but I sent it into Beckett to get graded. So it's a BVG. And I bought it sort of on a whim. It wasn't very expensive, but I liked Carl Yastrzemski, and I was like, hey, yeah, I'll buy it. I forget what I paid for it. It wasn't much. And overall, it was a nice card, but I'm going to show it off here. The more I look at it, and the more, especially for Carl Yastrzemski, that I'm trying to go for the quote-unquote collector grade for just Yastrzemski. I'm just not happy with the left to right centering. It graded a 5. I'm looking to pick this up hopefully in a 7. That's what I have on my list. The back is really nice, well centered, but the front, and I think that partially led to the grade of a 5. There, the corners aren't perfect as well. The lower corners there, I can see right here. There's a little bit of rounding to it, so it's probably a fair grade. I'm not knocking the grade, but I think I want to upgrade this card here. So I don't know. This may be a card that I would take to the National to see if I can have as part of a trade, something. Again, I'm not going to get much trade value out of this. But hey, if it helps to go toward, if I find a nicer 64 tops and I'm able to make a deal with this, or maybe for some other card, throw that in with some cash, I'd be happy with it. I'm not even worried about getting my money back, because like I said, I'm not in for this that much. But yes, I do own a 64, but I am hoping to upgrade. But there you are, card number 6. I do have my eye on potential a couple other cards. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger on them yet, so it may be a little while till you see another one of these videos, but so far it's been a blast. If you enjoyed this video, would appreciate you supporting my channel and hitting that like button. If you missed my previous video, you can check it out right here. And if you're currently not subscribed and you enjoy watching videos featuring vintage and modern baseball cards, you can subscribe to my channel right here, and better yet, click that bell to be notified next time I upload a video. That's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.